Hi, Facebook family. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for reading the post earlier today and sharing. I have an update on that situation, but right now we are welcoming you to Winning Wednesdays. Woo! On Winning Wednesdays, what Youth Earn and Learn does is our Red Apron Talks. And you might say, what's up with Red Apron Talks? Well, let me see if I can turn this around briefly so that I can explain. Did I hit the right button? There we are. You see my red apron? That's our Red Apron, right? So we do Red Apron Talks on Wednesdays. And what is especially great about our Red Apron Talks is that we are focusing on COVID-19 COVID-19 money-saving, healthy family meals, tips, and tricks. And of course, it features our fresh produce grab bags. And why would it feature our fresh produce grab bags? Because as you know, on Mondays, our Fresh Produce Mondays, we share with you what sort of produce you can find in our fresh produce grab bags. And what we like to do is share with you on Wednesdays what we made out of our fresh produce grab bags so that it can reduce the anxiety of how am I going to answer that age-old question, what's for dinner? Considering the current climate, right? With COVID-19, we have a number of people who are furloughed, a number of people who are laid off. We have businesses that are closing, just different challenges. And we want to help you to woosah, and be able to get in control of your finances and of your situations versus you feeling as if your finances and your situations have you pinned down for the count. We want you to do a quick wrestling move and flip that script and make sure that you are on top of the situation for yourself. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce and reintroduce to some of you what we had in this week's Classic Fresh Produce grab bag so that then we can share with you what we put in this week's dinners. Fair enough? I thought so too. All right. So in this week's Fresh Produce grab bag, we had 2 chopped salad kits. We had the pomegranate chopped salad kit. And you know, last week I stir-fried it because it has so much cabbage in it. It's like, why not? Why not just stir-fry that? Which I did. But this week we did something completely different. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the love. And in addition to our chopped salad kits, we do have, what is all of this, guys? What is all of that called? Cilantro. And if you could smell it, again, they need to come up with those 3D, well, I guess it would be 4D, because I'm trying to say not only dimensionally do we want to see what's happening through our phones, but we also want to be able to use our other sense, our sense of smell, so that we can see what's happening. All right, so this is cilantro. And with our cilantro, that's a big old 1-pound bag. So I'll share with you what we did with that. We have our yellow squash. That's cousin to the zucchini. We have our garlic, our fresh garlic, our red potatoes, our yellow onions, jumbo and regular size. We have our jumbo baking potatoes, our russet potatoes. We have limes, pomegranates, the fruit, apricots, kiwi, organic kiwi, and we ran out of our fruit snacks. So in the fruit snacks, we had apples, grapes, Ritz crackers, and a dip. So whenever we run out of something, we put a good substitute. So here you have apples and oranges that's substituting for that fruit kit. Fair enough? So one of the things that I also want to do before we show you all of the fabulous meals that we made, but you know what? I can do it simultaneously. So let me grab my cheat sheet Some of you are all too familiar with my cheat sheet, remember? So this is our cheat sheet that tells us about superfoods and the super benefits it has. And I love to be able to break down the superfoods that are in our fresh produce grab bag, as well as what's in our healthy dinners, right? So some of you realize that we do home delivered healthy meals. We do 5-day meal preps. We do healthy snacks, premium salads. We take our fresh produce grab bags and we challenge ourselves, especially during COVID-19, we challenge ourselves to bring them to life. So I'm going to go over what we did, okay, with our fresh produce grab bags. And we're going to start on my right. So to my right, the first meal that we did was our yellow squash, our pesto chicken sausage on a bed of organic brown rice and quinoa. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have often said that yellow squash is a copycat vegetable. Yellow squash, just like its pal, its friend, zucchini, right? The zucchini, they are both squash, right? They're both in the squash family, the yellow squash and the zucchini, and they are copycat vegetables. And I call them copycat vegetables because they seriously take on the flavor of whatever it is that you cook it with. And if you look in carefully, right, you see not only the yellow squash, you see some red tomatoes, you see green peppers, onions are in there, as well as the pesto chicken sausage, all on a bed of organic brown rice and quinoa. It reeks of healthiness, but it also bursts with flavor. So if I were shopping, I would say, okay, I need some of this, and I need some onions, right, to go along with this dish. And let me see what else I need. What we did, and this is a hack that I told y'all about last week, in terms of chopping up your green peppers and onions ahead of time, it makes cooking so much easier, so much easier. So we need our tomatoes. Yeah, our tomatoes I don't have in our classic. Yep, so we need our tomatoes in here. And what other veggies did I name? The green pepper. So the tomato and the green pepper. So let's just take a quick walk. And while we're walking to get those things, I'm going to hone in on the nutritional value of the zucchini. Zucchini helps us to lose weight. It lowers high cholesterol. It prevents heart disease, reduces rheumatoid arthritis aches. It maintains optimal health. It promotes men's health, and it keeps you disease-free as it protects your cardiovascular system. Now tell me how important all of that is, right? It's very important to be able to have all of those systems at optimal capacity. So y'all know I'm a mama, right? So the mama in me had to figure out how she was going to reach in, grab her tomatoes, and hold the camera. God is good. We have figured it out, and we have gotten it done. And let me see if I can do one other thing. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so remember I was saying another hack is to go ahead and chop up your green peppers and your onions. And so one of our VIP volunteers, Miss Tony, is just such a blessing. And so she's come and she's chopped up everything for us to make it easier for us to whip up these meals, right? To make it easier for us to whip up those meals. And if you don't have a Miss Tony, because I definitely do not have one at home, you can do that yourself. Right? You can do it yourself. Just do it ahead of time. Just think about the meals that you're going to be preparing, and you know you're going to need to chop up that onion some sort of way. Either dice it, or you need it in the other shapes, but you're going to need it. Hey, Sonia, thank you for tuning in. You're going to need it in the ring shape. However you're going to need it, it's going to need to be chopped up. And so to do it in advance is a wonderful tip and trick that's going to save you time. Okay, so again, in this meal here, you have your yellow squash, your tomatoes, your green peppers, your onions, and the pesto chicken sausage all on a bed of organic brown rice and quinoa. There you go. Boom. All right. So those are some of the items that were in the fresh produce grab bag. Okay. And we already talked about the nutritional value of the zucchini and the yellow squash. All right. And so now let's see what's next door to it. So next door to that dish is our soup of the week. And some of you realize that we have been doing a new soup every week. And it's so awesome because I always love soup, but my soups always came out like stews. You know, it'll be real thick and just amazing. I'll put it that way, thick and amazing. And what I have been doing as I have been challenging myself, right, my COVID-19 challenge and commitment, I have been Googling and seeing what different recipes are out there. And like I shared last week, you always want to Google your easy recipes. So your easy broccoli and potato soup. And that's what this is here, broccoli and potato soup. And you might say, well, Karen, I don't see broccoli in this week's fresh produce grab bag. No, you don't. But we had so much broccoli still left over from last week, right? We used it in our broccoli potato soup. So with this soup here, we have our broccoli florets that we used. And again, when you purchase your grab bags, it is yours to use as you will. I never did make this week or last week, but I used the broccoli in the soup, and I'm going to use the broccoli in the shrimp Alfredo that I'm going to be making my family after our Facebook Live, okay? So you have your broccoli, we have potatoes, right? So if I was shopping again, I'd be like, okay, excuse me, but I need these potatoes. And it really didn't matter if you went with red potatoes or your russets, okay? Both of them will work out just fine. And so you have your potatoes, your broccoli, and let me see what I can scooch out of the way so that you can see all of the ingredients that went in it. And of course, yes, I use the onions and green pepper as a nice base because it gives the vegetables such a nice flavor, right? So let's see if I can put this here beside that onion. Maybe I'll move the onion over a little bit, okay? And it just smells so good, smells so good. All right, so you have the broccoli that went into there, you have your potato, and you have your onion. And one of my onions just hit the floor, so we're going to let that one stay on the floor. We're going to go with a fresh onion. There we go. So that is not all that went in there because you see the little orange specks? You guessed it. And your carrots. Bam. Right? Now, I say bam because with our superfood, Sonia, the more superfoods you can put in your meals, the absolute better. Here are carrots as a superfood. There's your broccoli, right? And did we put celery in that? Because celery is also a superfood. So let's look at the carrots. Your carrots prevent cancer, controls diabetes, it reduces the risk of stroke, it prevents heart disease, it lowers blood pressure, it boosts your immunity. And how many of you know during COVID-19 we need as many immunity boosters as we can get? It helps in digestion, reduces constipation as well as cholesterol, and it improves your eyesight as well as your oral health. All of that from the carrot, okay? Now, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the love. Now, for the broccoli that's in there, it also prevents cancer, prevents heart disease, lowers your blood pressure and your cholesterol. It detoxes the body. Now, you know we need a good flush out. We need a good flush out, and we need a gentle flush out. So if you eat these things on a regular basis, it will gently keep your systems intact, right? Broccoli also prevents birth defects, improves digestion, treats anemia. Here we go, another immune system booster. It eliminates inflammation as well as improves vision. So imagine you're increasing your consumption of carrots and broccoli, and combined, it does all of those wonderful things. Both of them improves your vision. How about that? And like I shared with y'all before, my eyes did improve. When I went and got my eyes examined The doctor did say one of my eyes had gotten better, so I was excited about that. So I'm going to cover these 2 dishes back up because we're ready to move on to dish number 3. Okay, dish number 3. Voila. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Now, you might be saying, well, what am I looking at, Karen? What am I looking at? Let me help you out. So what you're looking at is the cilantro, your limes, your garlic. I mean, I was just like working that thing. So we have your garlic, we have your limes, right? Because there it is down in there. And it's not just there for a garnish, but this is cilantro lime chicken. Cilantro and lime chicken. So we can put this bag right on over here, right? Because this is what went into this dish, okay? And the way I served it, and we'll be adding, I served it with some black beans. So you had your cilantro lime chicken, black beans, salsa, and nachos. Wow. Think about the flavor explosion and all of that. Think about it, right? And see, that's the thing. The more we can wake up those taste buds, the more we can get our bodies excited about healthy choices, the more our systems are going to respond and help keep us healthy. Now, if someone wants to volunteer and look up the health benefits of cilantro, garlic, now you know garlic is off the chart with its health benefits, limes, oh my goodness, the electric charge that you get from limes, look that up for me, please, okay? So now, we had the yellow squash dish, we had the broccoli potato soup, we had the cilantro and lime chicken, and now we are ready to come over to here where we have our sliders. Now, some people are truly sandwich eaters. They are just sandwich eaters. They love sandwiches. That's how they get down. Not so much for me. Not so much for me. And I'm sure it's because I have given up the Hawaiian rolls. I have given up the bread. So I'm just not really big on sandwiches. And that's fine if you are, because that is one of the things that we do put in our meals. We do put sandwiches in our meals, and we strive to make sure that we are conscientious of how much bread and stuff we're putting in our meals. And so today's sliders, I'm showing it here with potato salad. So that's why I put the potato there. So in this particular potato salad, we snuck in some zucchini. We sure did, because I said, okay, they're going to just, think there's some relish and stuff in there. But again, for the health benefits, put as many vegetables as you can. Again, when you use the copycat vegetables, the copycat superfoods, you can get away with it. But if you put certain things in there, it's going to dominate it and change the taste, change the flavor. And so we don't want people's noses going up when they eat your food. We want them to be like smacking their lips and high-fiving you. That's what we want, okay? So we have the potato salad, and in the potato salad, we have our premium Idaho potatoes. We have our eggs, our mayo, our relish, and like I said, I slipped in some zucchini. Again, thank you for the thumbs up. And then when we served our sliders to our meal prep clients, we actually gave it to them with a chopped salad kit, right? So they had their sliders. Hey, Tanya, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. So we had our sliders, our barbecue chicken sliders with the chopped salad kit. And I always tell you that fresh is best. Fresh is best. And so in this particular chopped salad kit, you do have your cabbages, your kale, because it's both the green and the red cabbage. You have your kale, your green leaf lettuce, and your carrots. This kit does come with the dressing, dried cranberries, and flax seeds. And so we put that alongside the sliders. And so the client that we are delivering this to after we finish our segment today, he likes our potato salad. So that's why we put the potato salad here. But this is definitely, hands down, a healthier choice. I learned a tip from Miss Tony, again, VIP Tony Taylor, and she was sharing with us how to change basically the molecular composition of your potatoes so that it doesn't give those with diabetes or pre-diabetes that big shock, that big boost to your sugar level. And so it's basically you cook your potatoes and then you cool it. You cool it overnight. You drop that heat on it so that, again, you're changing the molecular composition and it causes you not to have that big sugar spike. And we know how important that is. All right, so if that's you, if that's a concern, that's a tip and trick that you can use. We don't want to abuse it. We don't want to overdo it with the potatoes. Potatoes, I love. I'm like Oprah, how she loves bread. I love potatoes. However, we want to respect our bodies and we want to fill up on the things that we can that's going to be good for our systems. So fresh is best. Our greens are good. If you are not on some sort of medications that cause you to have issues with that, those things that are high in antioxidants like your berries and stuff like that, your cherries, all of that's very good for you, okay? All right, now our last meal, oh my gosh, our last meal here. Our last meal was turkey, right? Turkey that we cooked in one of those oven bags, one of those oven roaster bags. And as you can see, you see the carrots, you see the red potatoes. What am I doing? Let me shop. So you see carrots and red potatoes. Let me grab the carrots and the red potatoes. All right. There are onions in there. So let's grab my onion. All right. There's onions in there. The corn on the cob is in there. The broccoli. You said, boy, she worked that broccoli every sort of way. Yes, I did. The broccoli is in there. And if you look closely, you actually see some tomatoes. Don't be afraid to use your veggies, guys. You want to be very generous with your veggies because that's how we boost our immune systems, right? That's how we do it. So let's see. We have carrots, tomatoes, red potatoes, broccoli, celery, zucchini, plus corn on the cob. Hey, Tony, thank you for tuning in. Plus corn on the cob, and we did some honey cornbread. So as you can see, it's all about portion control. And you see how we loaded up on the things that are very, very good for us. And then we kind of backed it off on perhaps those things that we need to be more moderate in how we eat it. So these are the meals that we made this week with our fresh produce grab bag. And let me tell you, what do we have left? What do we have left? It looks like all that we have left are our fruits. Right? Are our fruit. And I will say, honestly, I peeled that kiwi. I had some last night. No, I didn't. I cut it in quarters. And then I ate it like you would a lemon, So I cut it in quarters, in fourths, and then I turned it around and I sank my teeth in it. So that's how I ate the kiwi. And then with the apricots, I did look up recipes because the apricots begin to get very ripe. So I wanted to find out what all we could do with it. But before I did any of that, I washed it off and I ate that too. The pomegranates, yes, the pomegranates, we ate that as a fruit. And of course the oranges, oh my goodness, I like my oranges very cold. So I put them in the refrigerator and I sliced them up. I even sliced up some for my dad. He's like, oh, this is sweet. I'm like, I know. And so a long time ago, I heard the term that fruit was nature's candy. Fruit was nature's candy. And at the time, I was still on my Snicker bars and, all that jazz. So I'm sure I beg to differ. But I'm telling you guys, it has been since 2011. I'm Snicker bar free, praise Jesus. And I eat a lot of healthy choices. I take the fresh produce grab bag, and as you can see, we introduce them to all these different meal choices to make it happen, right? To make it happen, I'm going to put lids on it just to, keep it germ-free. And there are certain things that I really enjoy, and then there are certain things that I don't eat as much, I just don't eat it as much. So our these are Gala apples. I almost call them Red Delicious, but our Gala apples, I like them, I really do, but I know the Granny Smiths are better for me. Having been diagnosed pre-diabetic about 4 years ago, and I went through the newbies class. Miss Olivia was just the best teacher ever, and she really, really got me well started with using all the different herbs and just really knowing these healthy meals can be nutritious and delicious. So I dug deep, and if you were here, you could smell how good it is. You can smell the aroma. And of course, the aroma is an indicator of the flavor, right? And so you would be able to smell all of that. And so back to our fruit, there are certain fruit that I just don't indulge in anymore. So though I really, really enjoy apples, the Granny Smiths are better for me. The bananas, I eat those very sparingly. But what I have caught myself doing is buying the banana chips. And I kind of laughed at myself. I said, hey, you're not eating the bananas, but you work those banana chips into your trail mix. And I'll tell anybody, baby steps, baby steps. And so for me, I don't eat the fresh bananas very often. However, I do eat trail mix that may have banana chips in it, and I do enjoy it. I really do. Okay? So if you have questions for us regarding any of the meals, are they available? If they are for purchase, you can give us a call at 757-714-1789, 757-714-1789. If you are interested in knowing what the recipes are for it, let us know, because we are toying with the idea of creating a Youth Earn and Learn recipe book. So let us know if that's something that you are interested in, and we can see if it will make that, if we can make that happen. Again, we can be reached at 757-714-1789. Now, last but not least, I just want to share with you that the whole Red Apron Talks, the whole idea of doing Red Apron Talks, again, was our contribution and commitment during COVID-19. Just to be able to say, what can we do? And we were already delivering the fresh produce grab bags. We have had to make different adjustments, perhaps to do curbside pickup, to do touch-free deliveries and that sort of thing, having people pay through any one of our methods, including SNAP and EBT, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Facebook, all of those different methods. So we were doing all of that. But our next step was to demonstrate to you guys every week, not hit or miss, but every week, what we are doing with our fresh produce grab bags and what types of meals that you can make as well, or you can order. And so we had a wonderful senior citizen who has been ordering during COVID-19, and she ran into some challenges on last week, and she was not able to get her order. And so she said, I'll catch up with you next week. And I'm like, okay. And she didn't want to go into a lot of detail, and of course I wasn't going to pry. And then this week, I checked in on her, and she was like, not ready yet, not ready yet. Well, the light bulb went off, because we spent last week preparing to put in for a grant to provide COVID relief, doing these very same things that we've been doing, which is providing the Red Apron Talks, right? Providing the Red Apron Talks, providing the money-saving, healthy family meal tips and tricks, and just building a sense of community around our supporters. And so with Youth Earn and Learn Jobs for Kids, it's one of those things where we're not sure if we'll get funded. By the grace of God, we pray that we will. But I have a senior citizen that is in need now. And we are so grateful that when we shared our post earlier today, a number of you responded. And I'm happy to say our senior is going to get her meals delivered on this week, and she will be able to dine with us again. And I'm very, very grateful for your support, because like I said, we don't know if the grant is going to get funded, but what we do know is the work that we're doing here, being able to provide our tips and tricks, discussing our healthy eating, telling you about superfoods, demonstrating to you the meals that we have made, bringing the fresh produce grab bags to the forefront. We know the difference that that makes, right? We know the difference that it makes to have an ear when things get tight and when you get stressed out and we're not quite sure how you're going to make all your ends meet. And so with your support, then we can help each other, just like we get to help our senior on this week, okay? So if you saw the post and you want to donate, please do. If you want to volunteer, please do that. So we do have a need for savvy shoppers. We have a need for delivery drivers. We even have a need for virtual hosts. So some of you tune in and you watch our COVID-19 Red Table Talks. Red Apron Talks. I'm thinking about Jada over there, and she's booming and she's fabulous. But no, ours is Red Apron Talks. So we have these, and we've been doing them week in and week out, bringing information to you in terms of what you can do to stretch your budget, what you can do with your $20 grab bags to feed your family affordably, how you can stretch your meats so that everybody can eat meat, but you don't have to break the bank, you don't have to break the family budget, you don't even have to concern yourself as the shelves and the freezer areas and the meat sections are looking pretty skimpy. You don't even have to get yourself all worked up, because we're here as your partner in health, showing you our tips and tricks that work for our families. So from our kitchen to yours, we're sharing different ideas with you. So we got you, okay? And we thank you in advance for having us, for allowing us the opportunity to be able to deliver this week meals to our senior who last week couldn't get it, this week couldn't get it on her own. But for the past few weeks since we had the COVID-19 shelter at home crackdown, she had been able to get it. And so we know that she is not the only one who's in need. And the more responsive you are, the more we can respond. And so we thank you for indulging us, for helping us, for loving our communities. And we do need your support, both financially, if you want to give weekly, if you want to give monthly, if you want to do a one-time gift, that is fine. We need your support, as well as we need your assistance. Some of you may live out of the area. You can still support us because we have things that you can do virtually, right? You can be that friendly caller to be able to touch bases with our seniors, just to check in with them, to see how they're doing, to get some feedback, to share some information with them, as well as we have needs for our savvy shoppers, because we are shopping for some of our clients, and we have need for delivery drivers. So for all of the cities that we deliver to throughout Hampton Roads, we have to rely on college ambassadors, our VIP ambassadors, to help get it delivered. And when they are not available, yours truly takes off her red apron and she makes the deliveries. But I know in my heart of hearts, you want to help our community. And so again, we thank you in advance for reaching out and supporting us. Again, you can give us a call at 757-714-1789. Peace and blessings.